at the last stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Antalya. Yesim Boston and Mike Schlösser booked their places in the Compound World Cup final in Samsun, Turkey. Now it's time for stage 3 of the competition. Welcome to Salt Lake City, and one of the most impressive facilities dedicated to this sport in the world, the Eastern Foundation's Archery Center. Who will win here to secure their chance of competing at the finals in Turkey? It's bright and sunny here, not a cloud in the sky, 29 degrees Celsius, but that windsock tells a story of how the wind is affecting conditions here. For the locals, it's 82, 83 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm Karen Basher, and I'm delighted to welcome Vic Wonderly, the American 2000 Olympic silver medalist, here into the commentary box. Vic, what a session we've got in front of us.
Yeah, this is exciting. We're starting off with the mixed bronze team match with India versus the United States.
Yeah, we'll move quickly on to the gold medal match in the mixed team, and then it's the all-important individual women's bronze and women's gold, followed by the men's individual compound. But we're going to start with that mixed team, as Vic said, and it's the bronze medal match up first. That wind here has been playing a big factor, but here's the bracket and how the teams got here.
India defeated Germany and then Colombia before suffering a loss to Russia in the semifinals, while the United States defeated Philippines, Chinese Taipei, and then took a 1-point loss to France in the semifinals to reach this bronze medal match.
Well, let's get underway. Here come the teams for the bronze medal match.
Please give our shooters a warm Salt Lake City welcome. Here comes the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
Shooting for the bronze medal in the mixed team event, USA, Jamie Van Natta, Chris Schaaf. USA, the number 3 qualified team coming into this event. And here come their opponents for the bronze. Please give a warm welcome, Team India. Team India, the number 8 team in the world. And their representatives are Jyoti Sureka Venom, Abhishek Verma. Our World Archery International judge for this match is Mr. Ray Cortez, as we're going to be getting underway.
Athletes, please prepare.
USA shooting first.
USA, you shoot first. USA, you shoot first. India, shoot second. Range clear. Begin the match.
Well, Roy Cortez there, our line judge here for the first match. It's the USA shooting first on target 2. And that's at Jamie Van Natta and Chris Schaaf. It's 4 ends of 4 arrows, and a cumulative score. Get the top score at the end of the 4 ends, and you win the bronze medal. Line judges just popped back out. Roy Cortez must have spotted something on the range. It's a 50-meter range, and the athletes are shooting at a target that's just 80 centimeters in diameter. Oh, we can hear the horns going off, and I think they've had to reset the timing system. Of course, there's a countdown clock here in the archery tournaments, an average of 20 seconds per arrow. I think the timing system all important.
Yes, it is. It's important that that the timing's set correctly, that the match runs smoothly. It's 20 seconds these archers have to shoot an arrow. It is not very long.
Well, take 2. It looks like we're going to get underway. A reminder that it's the USA shooting first, the world number 4 team of Jamie Van Natter and Chris Schaff, and it's Jamie Van Natter to shoot first.
Come on, girl, pin it.
Eight points to start.
8 and
on the
7.
opposing side.
Just out.
And it's
9, 7 o'clock.
The American shooting 17 out of a possible 20 from the first 2 arrows. So next up, it's India, who are the world number 7 team, Jyoti Sureka Venom and Abhishek Verma.
India opens with a 9.
Well, level pegging, both shooting 17 out of a possible 20 here. 2 more arrows per team, and we're back to the Americans and Jamie Van Natter. They came through qualification ranked 8 in the tournament.
Nice, 10 and 11, 10 and 11. Great arrow, Jamie. You're good, buddy. You're good. There it is.
I noticed a wind shift from earlier in the earlier matches today. Chris and Jamie, 3 out of the first 4 arrows to this tournament were to the left, and they adjusted very quickly.
You're X.
Well, Abhishek Verma and Jyoti Sureka Venom, they came through qualification ranked 3rd here in Salt Lake City. They're going to trail by at least 1 here.
8.
And a 10 ensures that it is just 1 point, and 36 plays 37 after the first end. Vic, the wind has been troublesome.
It has. It's been blowing very hard today, ebbing and flowing, coming and going. But I did notice that the wind shifted from what it was earlier, resulting in some left arrows there initially. Those 2 that were right together, that tells me the Americans shot 2 very good shots. They just didn't have the wind pick. But look how quickly they adjusted moving into the 10 ring.
Perfect, and these graphics are superb, aren't they, Vic?
They are. It helps everybody at home get a better picture of what's going on.
British country, and you're looking at a situation where there's a lot of pressure on the Indian team to be ready, up and running.
Just see here the wind, it's affecting the athletes. They're just holding on a little bit, I noticed here, but looks like we're ready to get underway for the second end. Of course, the trailing team shoot first in archery. Just 1 point in it. But I think, as Vic was intimating, the USA might have got their sights in a little bit earlier.
They had experience on the field here earlier today where they won both a gold and a bronze medal between the 2 of them. So they have had the advantage of already getting a few arrows in on this competition field.
Well, the Indians will get to shoot first here in the second end. Super fast, the mixed team event in compound archery.
Been talked about for more than 20 years. The first test took place in Dover in the UK 12 years ago.
Just see the agents down at the target end of the field, still recovering the arrows from the first end, and so our line judge Roy Cortez is just holding up the beginning of the second end, and it looks like we are just about to get underway, and you can see that windsock on the left hand side flipping around all over the place. Abhishek Verma up to start proceedings in the second end of the mixed team bronze medal match.
10 points.
Control. Okay, yellow में. Maintain कर.
Boy, you can see that wind pushing her around at full draw. She did a good job executing a shot despite the wind that she was taking on that.
19 out of 20. Jamie Van Natter for the USA. Well, a little bit of a grimace there. She wasn't so happy with that one, but got away with it a little bit with an 8.
Oh, big guy.
Chris with 10-liner. Just out.
The door has opened for India here. They lead by 2 points halfway through the second end.
Timing shot.
And just out of 10 ring, it's a 9.
Maintain रखी दोनों. ज़्यादा में रोके.
9.
Well, a 9 means the USA can draw level in this end, but they will have to shoot 2 10s.
Jamie has been shooting for 28 years, and she has been shooting since the beginning of the World Cup series. So she is a very experienced archer in this field.
Dropping an 8 there, which has opened the door for India, and 8 seconds left on the clock here. Chris Schaff under pressure still manages to shoot a 10.
The USA will be shooting first when we resume. Still half the match yet to go.
Well, you can see that India have stolen the lead just by 1 point, and it took them a while to get their sights in. The blustery conditions have definitely played a part, but Vic, here are all the Indian arrows so far.
Yeah, so they got a little low left, or a little low right, a few high left, and a couple in the middle. So the wind's kind of pushing them around on that, back and forth, but the average of the group's good.
It was interesting, halfway through on that end, that the wind did start to bluster up again. It settled down and then changed to being blustery again and swirling around. And one thing archers don't like are these eddy currents and changeable conditions.
They have 2 options when they get this wind. They can aim off, or they can move their sight. Oftentimes in a changing wind like this, archers will choose to just aim off because they know that wind might change from arrow to arrow. If it's a consistent wind, some will aim off, some will adjust their sight.
Interesting insight there to what the archers are doing on the shooting line, and it will change from end to end, from match to match. And of course the conditions here in the finals range very different to qualification. So trailing now, the USA will shoot first. This is the third end of the mixed team bronze medal match between the USA and India.
Strong shot. Top of that 10 ring.
Another one dropped, this time to the left slightly. 7, but you could see Jamie Van Natter's hat, the peak of her cap, just flipping up in that wind. And that one's gone left as well, and Chris Schaff there just letting off a little whoop as a sign that he wasn't happy with that. So Abhishek Verma has seen what the wind is doing at the beginning of the third end.
He adjusted nicely to that. I noticed some of the flags up on top of the stadium have changed directions from what they were a little while ago.
Just drifting left, but a 9. Driving seat here for India, so Jamie Van Natten needs to recover from the 7 she scored in her first arrow.
It's 10-3, 10-3.
She made the adjustment and caught a right 10 on that one.
Boy, that thing was going.
You have to adapt quickly in these changing wind conditions.
Time ticking away.
Oh, another one.
Great stuff there from the Americans. Put the pressure on, but you have to say India in the driving seat here with a chance of extending their lead.
Nine.
Sara Venom there, just readjusting.
Maintain करके बहुत टाइम है. Good, shabash.
Took a time, gets a 10, and the 1 point lead they came into this end with has extended to 4. And mentioned that the conditions in the finals range are different to how they are out onto the qualification field. Very open on the qualification field. And here we see the comparison of both sets of arrows, Vic.
So the USA team has several arrows that are low left and a few that are high right in the 10 ring, where the Indian team has some arrows low right and high left, so they're almost running different quadrants on this whole thing.
Yeah, a little bit of a mirror there from both teams. Great to see them. But the shooting line here is shielded by the spectator stands, and then about halfway down the range here for the finals, it opens right up. So you've got a headwind on the shooting line, and then a crosswind halfway down the range. Tricky, huh?
It is. Jamie had commented to me earlier, Vanetta had commented to me earlier in this, that it's almost harder to read the wind because she can't feel the wind on her at the shooting line the same as what it's affecting the arrow down range. So it makes it a little bit of a guessing game. That's when you hope you make a perfect shot and know how much to adjust.
Come on, girl. Just like the last one. Get up on it. Get up on it. Stay up on it. Stay up. Get him. Nice, 10 and 7.
Nice 10 there to start for Jamie Van Natten, and you saw a little sneaky smile on her face there.
Holy cow. Great arrow. Come on, buddy. There's a nice calm stretch. Get it. Nice.
Good early pressure set here in the final end of the bronze medal match by the USA. They trail by 4 coming in. Abhishek Verma to shoot first for India here in the last end. Well, they've leveled up on score, and there's just 2 arrows to go here. Momentum shifted to the USA at a crucial time.
Just pin it.
Can change fast sometimes.
Get it. Please, Lord, just let her get it.
Oh dear, that one's dropped very low. And a 5, unusually low score.
You could tell the wind gust hit her right about the time she was shooting it.
And that one pulling left and into the 7, so they open the door with 2 10s, the USA, and put themselves right back into the match. And India have a massive chance to get the bronze here. Well, they just need to hit the target here, and it's all done for India. And a beautiful 10 to finish, and there will almost certainly be a measure for that 5, but it can only be upgraded to a 6, and a rather large win, perhaps a little bit not really reflective of the actual match in the end there. 12 points.
That's a pretty big spread. Sometimes when these archers shoot, is a very fine line between a perfect shot and one that's way off. If the wind gust catches you, it only takes 1/10 of a second for that arrow to go astray.
Well, there you go. India have taken the bronze here at the 3rd stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Salt Lake City. There is a measure going on at the moment, but it won't make any difference to the results. There you have confirmation. India have taken bronze here in Salt Lake City.
6 at 7.
Here we see some of those highlights, and it's interesting that the wind again has played a factor here in this match, but ultimately you have to take your hats off to the Indians. Under pressure, they came from behind and then they closed it out at the end when the USA made a couple of mistakes, having put themselves right back in it. But India have taken the mixed compound bronze medal here in Salt Lake City. Bronze over, gold medal match to come. And this Eastern Foundations Archery Centre is a very impressive venue. And we look here at how the two teams got to the final.
Russia beat the Netherlands and Denmark and Italy to make it here, while France beat Mexico and then the United States by 1 point to reach this gold medal match.
Well, we've seen the bracket, the line judges out on the shooting line. Let's get the teams out and introduce them to the packed out crowd here. We've already heard their national anthem this morning in the plateau beneath those beautiful mountains, clear blue skies. It's time for the athletes to come out for the mixed
Ladies and gentlemen,
team
please welcome
gold
the
medal
contenders
match.
for the compound mixed team title, the gold medal final here at the Eastern Archery Center in Salt Lake City, the Beehive, state of Utah.
Allez. Bon, bah, ils ont gagné, les Indiens. Ils ont gagné.
Shooting for the gold medal, please welcome, it's the team of France. Olympian Sophie Dodo, world champion Sebastian Pinot, and here come their nemesis. Please welcome the team from Russia, Russian Federation. Representing the Russian Federation, Natalia Avdieva, Anton Bulyev. Our World Archery International judge for this match is Mr. Hossein Nazarinejad. We'll be getting underway with the team from France, shooting first on target 2.
Allez, les petits Français. Allez, 7.
On their way to the...
France shooting first, Russia shooting second. Range clear, begin match.
Well, our line judge Hussein Nazarinejad from Iran is ready to get us underway, and it's France who will shoot first on target 2. Sophie Dodo and Sebastian Pinot, the world number 5 team. Here we go to the gold medal match in the mixed team archery, Russia versus France.
Yes, super. Allez, Sophie.
French team came through qualification ranked 2nd.
Allez, loin derrière. Ouais, c'est pas loin.
19 out of a possible 20 from the first 2 arrows for France.
C'est 9 à 1 heure.
Wind's just dipped off, so conditions near perfect for the archers. Russia to shoot next. It's Antov Bulyev who will lead them out, followed by Natalia Avdieva. Another 10 there. The Russians were world rank number 13, came through qualification, ranked 4th here in Salt Lake City. Another 10, but Vic, the wind has died.
It has. It shows how quick it can. Just a few minutes ago, it was blowing like crazy. Now it's let up just a little bit. The wind flags are still moving, but it's a lot lighter than it was.
10.
Yes. 10 gauche 7. Ouais, Sophie.
10.
Well, 39 out of a possible maximum of 40. A great start from the French team, but Russia could get the maximum here, and the wind is staying low. Antov Bulyev with his 2nd arrow of the gold medal match for Russia.
9 points.
Best they can do here is Avdieva shooting a 10 to draw level.
10, tie score.
Well, near perfect scores from both teams here, 39 apiece, nothing splitting them after the first 10, but that wind again, Vic, but this time it's playing its part by disappearing.
The wind, it seems like it's ever changing here in Salt Lake City. If you don't like it, just wait a couple minutes, it'll change. Both these teams are trying to get off to a good start, trying to establish a lead over the next team.
Well, we got to look at their arrows here, comparison. The 1-9 dropping low for the Russians.
10-9.
Yeah, all those, I mean, that's just excellent grouping. We have the 1-9 that's a little bit wide, but all those others are just 10s or right there. So this is about as good a start as you can really hope for on one of these matches.
Yeah, but that wind doing them both a favour in the first end, but as Vic has suggested, you just turn your back on it for a second and all of a sudden it's blustering up again.
Score is tied. France shooting first, Russia shooting second.
So we stick with the original order with the ties scored. France will shoot first in the second end of the compound mixed team gold medal match.
They have a 100% win rate. And it's active right now.
Range is clear. Sebastian Pinard of France will start the second end of the gold medal match.
Ouais, c'est juste en dessous. En dessous à droite. Allez, Sophie. Allez, Sophie.
Oh, she's holding on to this one.
Ouais.
Wow, that was impressive, and that was lucky because typically the quality of the shot degrades when you hold that long, and you can see she was really fighting the wind. I think if it wasn't for the time constraint of the mixed team round, she would have let that one down and started over.
Double 10 points.
Well, in contrast, Anton Bulyev released that one within 10 seconds.
Le rythme maintenant. Ça fait le boulot.
Oh.
Big twitch, but she's got away with it, Avdieva.
That's what we call flinching. So she was anticipating shooting that shot and did not do it.
French under time pressure here, though. And you can see that Sebastian Pinot is trying to give Sophie Dodo, his partner here, as much time as possible. Shoots a 9, but they're under 10 seconds now.
Bien, Sophie.
Finishes strong with the 10 with little time on the clock.
Bien joué. Ouais,
Yeah, after, well, both teams showing chinks in the armour.
Yeah.
Je crois que tu as fait le spectacle sur la première fois. Oh la vache. Je voyais le temps tourner, je voyais ton arc tourner. Ah oui, oui.
And an 8 means that France, despite that long hold from Sophie Dodo, will lead after the second end. By how many points?
Après, Seb régule et toi aussi.
Well, it will be 2 as the final arrow comes in on a 9. And that was a very interesting end. And the French and the Russians both had little twitches, a long hold from Sophie Dodo.
She held an exceptionally long time. The fact that she was able to still finish that shot and hit a 10 after holding that long tells you the mental toughness. Here you see the flinch. That is a big risk, big mistake. That is what archers do not want to see.
Well,
that can be catastrophic.
Well, the Russians paid for it more so than the French there, but still a very tight match at the halfway stage. And you see some of the French fans in the crowd enjoying themselves. Very pleasant evening when the breeze is up.
It makes it feel more comfortable, but it also adds challenges to the shooting here.
Got 2 points. Russia will shoot first. France will shoot second. Bench clear.
Well, France have wrestled the lead here, but we still have a long way to go. Russia will shoot first here in this end. The gold medal up for grabs, and it will be Anton Believ stepping up to the shooting line for Russia. Important couple of arrows here.
For Russian Federation.
She finished that shot smoothly. I'm not sure, I haven't watched closely enough, but it's possible that she may actually what we call punch the trigger, where she forces the shot to go off when she wants, as opposed to this archer. You can see he uses a back tension release. He doesn't know exactly when it goes off. He just pulls and pulls and pulls until the hinge rotates, and then the shot's released. Sophie Dodo, George Tekmachov announcing earlier mentioned that she was in the Olympics, which meant she would have been shooting a recurve bow at that point in time, and obviously is no stranger to pressure.
Well, there you go. Vic called it. A 19 out of 20 for the French, and stolen a couple of points here in the third end, having already got the lead in the second end.
Nine.
20 секунд, Наташа.
Allez, Seb.
Well, opportunity knocks for France here. They came in to this third end with a 2-point lead. Can they extend it here?
Elle est bien focus sur la cible. Allez, sors.
I could tell by his reaction that his sight was probably a little bit on that side when he shot. Just the way his arms collapsed in just a little bit, he was trying to adjust for a sight picture.
Movement there in the wind. You can see it on the stabilizer, but she still shoots a 10.
2 seconds left, and she sinks a 10. This girl has been on fire today.
Well, they came in to the third end with a 2-point lead. They come out of it with a 4-point lead, and France have got this gold medal in one hand at the moment. What can the Russians do in the fourth end?
9-9. X8. Target 2. X9.
Well, the Russians haven't shot badly here,
10,
but the
9.
groupings is all what it's about. Here are all the arrows, Vic.
So you can see there is not much on the left-hand side of that target. It's running a little bit on the right-hand side. There's a few high, a few low. Me as an archer, I always try to keep that group centered, and I try to adjust to keep it in the middle of the target. But with the wind ever changing, that is always a challenge.
And that's it. Yeah, it did change again, and we got a little bit more of a headwind. We can feel it here in the commentary position blowing at us. It's very pleasant because it's keeping the temperature down. But it did change again, and as you pointed out, it changes every 2 minutes.
Clear?
Yeah, it makes it hard to establish the aiming point that you want to shoot at. And it's hard enough to make a good shot, but sometimes when you miss, you don't know how much of it was you and how much of it was the wind, so it makes it hard to compensate if you don't know.
Well, the Russians need to start well here in the fourth end. They trail by 4 points. What can Anton Bulyev do to get them off to a good start? Well, that's a great start. Can't ask for more. 10 points on the board.
Быстренько. Мощно, смело. Левую держим, правую тащим. Good shot.
That was a fast, smooth shot. You could tell just everything looked good, looked smooth, looked confident.
Well, whatever happens halfway through this fourth end, Russia will have definitely closed the gap by 1 point. In fact, it's 2 points. So they've done half the job to close the gap. Trailed by 4 at the start. That's down to 2.
Держим прицел до конца. На полчетвертого, далеко. 20 секунд, Наташа. Быстро, мощно.
See another flinch there. She recovers to finish the shot, but you could see she had another little bit of a flinch there.
9, so a 38 out of a possible 40.
And sinks another 10.
And all that's required here is a 7. Long hold again.
Yes.
But it's in the 10, and the French have taken the win here. The Russians did what they could at the beginning of the final end, but in the end, it was France who went over the line, and confirmation of the score. 153 points plays 149, and the French team held on to the 4-point lead that they took into the final end, and hugs all round for that French team. Handshakes, of course, from the Russians, gracious in defeat. But there they are. Sophie Dodo, Sébastien Pinal have taken the compound mixed team gold here at stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Salt Lake City.
Can we leave the field, please? Thank you.
Bon ben voilà. Donc la cible 2 peut gagner.
Can we leave the field? Thank you.
Well, a quite brilliant match here, and here we see some of those shots. Sébastien Pinal and Sophie Dodo shooting a number of 10s throughout the whole match. In fact, they didn't drop below a 9 throughout the whole gold medal match. And consistency, the key to the game in archery. And despite a couple of flinches, a couple of long holds, it was the French who took the gold medal here today in the mixed team compound event at the Eastern Foundation's Archery Centre. So here is how things finished up overall. France taking the gold, Russia in silver, India beating the USA to the bronze medal.
Getting ready for the victory ceremony. Let's have a nice round of applause for our field crew here from Salt Lake City.
So we've had the last of our team events here on Compound Saturday. And it will be time to present the medals very shortly, and hopefully you are enjoying our live coverage, because up next we start the individual medal matches. The gold medalists here book their place in Samsung at the World Cup final, and we'll see Sophie Dodo coming up again in the women's bronze medal match. But now it's time for the medal ceremony for the mixed team event here on Compound Saturday in Salt Lake City.
Medals will be presented by the president of the Vegas shoot, Bruce Cull. And the gifts will be presented by the president of Easton Technical Products, Mr. Mark Pizzoni. Bronze medal winners representing India. Jyoti Sureka Venom. Abhishek Verma. Silver medal winners representing the Russian Federation. Natalia Avdieva. Anton Bulyev. Gold medal winners representing France. Sophie Dodo. Sébastien Penaud. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France. that is Sara Lopez. We asked Sara, oops, sorry, we'll get there shortly. Let's congratulate our medalists first. As I was saying, we caught up with
Off to
Sara
behind
Lopez,
the scenes.
one of the most-
All sports coaches play a crucial role in an athlete's development and ultimately their success. We caught up with Sara Lopez to find out what her coach means to her.
I have won 3 World Cup finals, 8 World Cups. I have 5 World Champs titles and I think 9 world records. I wake up every day and I go to the field and it's like a therapy, like escaping from the real world, being there with my bow, with my friends. I have been shooting with them for 10 years. I had to work really hard in the beginning because I was terrible shooting 50 meters. We used to shoot FITA, and I was really good at 70, 60, and 30, but 50 was like a nightmare. Our coach ever came to Colombia in 2013, and he saw me and he told my dad, she can be a world champion. We were like, yeah, sure. I won't be a world champion, never. 2 months later, I got in the national team. 1 week after that, I went to Antalya and I won.
Cuando vi a Sara, vi una deportista que faltaba direccionamiento y carácter. No puedo discriminar de que otro no pudo ser, sino que tenían en esa opción, la tenía ella y pues como te he dicho, a veces escucha, a veces no. Yo a veces me enojo con ella, ella se enoja y pues estamos en una controversia del que ella me diga, que yo le diga, que o en la orientación también, porque solamente no es en la parte de arquería, sino en la parte de la vida.
He's the person who changed who I was as an archer, as a person. You don't see that in cameras. He's changing the game in compound archery, and I think he's one of the best coaches in the world right now.
Well, the unsung heroes there celebrated. Sara Lopez telling everybody how much Herbert Mantilla, her coach, means to her. And now it's time to move on to the individual tournament here on Compound Saturday. And we're going to start with the bronze medal match in the women's individual.
And right now, Jeremy's out there. Jeremy, tell him how it's done.
Blustery wind still playing a part, but here is the bracket.
Kuanko beat Longo from Italy, followed by Adiva from Russia, Hervé from France, Toya Ellison from Slovenia, before losing to Lopez in the semifinals. While Sophie Dodo, number 2 ranked, beat Latour from Puerto Rico, Benal from Mexico, Hart from Canada, and Ochoa Anderson before losing to Ochoa Anderson in the bronze, sending her to the bronze medal match.
First winner for a quiver and release pouch is sitting in section D. Right here, D.
We've got a little bit of crowd interaction here before we present the athletes out. And if you're watching us live here, I'm sure you enjoy your archery, and do follow us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, where you can pick up lots of special features and lots of behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just search World Archery on any of those social media platforms to get that behind-the-scenes look at what goes on in the world of archery at the top level.
From your left to right, seat number 5.
We've got a little bit of prize giving going on here. Maybe a few boxes of saltwater taffy. Are you a fan?
I do like saltwater taffy, but here in Salt Lake City, this is a beautiful facility, the Easton Foundation's Archery Center. They have a beautiful indoor range, outdoor range, and they have really made this place into a spectacular venue for this event.
They certainly have, and they've got lots of activities going on for young and old spectators here as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
And a little go at
welcome
the floating archery earlier on, but no time to talk about that. It's time to present our athletes for the women's individual bronze medal
No, you're
match.
not seeing double. We just saw her in the mixed team final, and she's back.
French.
Shooting for the bronze medal. Please welcome, representing the team of France, Sophie Dodo. And her opponent has come all the way across the Pacific to Utah, Philippines.
Extend the bow and come here.
Please welcome, after she puts her bow down, it is Amaya Ambro Cojuangco. Competition conducted under the supervision of World Archery International judge Mr. Roy Cortez will be deciding which of these competitors is going to take home the bronze. Who flies home with the suitcase?
Do them on. Do them on. You shoot first. Cojuangco, you shoot second.
We've got a breeze. We've got a challenge.
Range clear.
Roy Cortez, our line judge, clears the range, and it will be world number 51, Sophie Dodo of France, who will shoot first. 5 ends of 3 arrows per athlete. And Dodo gets us underway for the bronze medal in the compound individual women's tournament.
C'est 10 cordons à gauche.
Well, Amaya Amparo Cojuangco from the Philippines is ranked number 43 in the world. Dodo follows up the 10 with a 9, and perhaps her experience of shooting just a while ago in the mixed team event has given her a chance to get her eye in. But Cojuangco gets a 9, and perhaps her sight's already set as well.
This
9.
Having that earlier match experience, it's great for not only figuring out the win, but also getting the nerves worked out. You know, any nerves that they have going into the match, they have a chance to work through that before the following match.
Well, a 4-point lead after the first of 5 ends for Sophie Dodo, and that could be crucial here in the gusty conditions, as you say, Vic. Not just getting used to the wind, but also getting rid of those nerves.
It is. You have a lot of, sometimes some of these archers are very nervous, some of them are only a little bit when it comes to start. One thing I did notice was, oh, hang on, here we go. We get to see the arrow grouping. All right, Cojuangco has most of her arrows on the left. Sophie Dodo has some on the left, some on the right, some high, low, some low. So she's pretty centered, where Cojuangco still has to adjust a little bit for this new venue versus the practice field.
You shoot first, you shoot second.
Trailing athlete always shoots first in the next end, so it's Cojuangco who will shoot first in the second end. Remember, this is the bronze medal up for grabs here in the compound women's individual event. Dodo leading by 4 after 1 end. Well, right on the button there.
This
20 seconds per arrow, and Vic, you notice Cojuangco has taken her sunglasses off.
I'm not sure why. Typically, I prefer to shoot either with them on or with them off, because sometimes I find it can change your impact point. Obviously, that last arrow got away from her a little bit.
This.
Well, drifting out into a 6 there against the experience of Dodo. I think she could pay sorely for that.
Elbow lang.
8 points. All on the uphill side. Win points.
She's still riding a little left on all those arrows.
Clearly not happy. Dodo has a chance to extend her lead here.
And 999.
She does indeed do that. All of a sudden, after just 2 ends, things are looking very difficult for the Philippine archer, Amaya Amparo Juanco.
Imagine what a great accomplishment it is to win an Olympic bronze medal.
And the groupings are so important here, and the Philippine athlete has her groupings have not been that great, Vic.
No, these arrows are spread out a little bit, and definitely she only has 1 arrow on the right-hand side here. Everything is running to the left. I did notice a couple of interesting stats that showed up there earlier. She only has a 9.09 average compared to Dudamont's 9.52 average. And Juanco's coming from a number 28 seed in this event versus Dudamont's number 2. So Juanco's got to be pretty excited about making it this far, and probably had some upsets along the way. So this is
through qualification very well, but she's trailing here in the bronze medal match and will shoot first in the 3rd end. Well, buffeted by the wind there, you can see that. Drifting down to the 7, but still left, as Vic pointed out. Well, time ticking away, and Dodo could only score a 7.
Still to the left, still to the left. Typically the coach pays attention and tries to catch those things and point them out if the archer's not keen enough to get them themselves. These matches are so short that you have to make those corrections very fast, otherwise you're giving up crucial points.
And the thing is, that wind has picked up again. It's just started to bluster. You can see the t-shirts ruffling there in it.
Nice.
Better grouping on the 2nd and 3rd arrow there from the Philippine athlete. But Dodo has a big chance to extend her lead again.
10. 5.
She does. She extends it by 1, but you can see the orange tag on her bow there, just drifting in the wind. It's a headwind coming directly at the athlete. So how's that to cope with when it's coming straight at you, the wind?
Oftentimes it can blow the arrows down. Depending on how it's hitting, you may have some left or right. It seems like we've had some left here. So as you look, Juanco, all of her arrows are on the left except for 1. Where Dudamont, she's a little bit low. Her group, she only has 1 arrow above center on her group, but she's got the right and left fairly close. Maybe a shade on the right, but fairly close on her right and left.
Well, a chance for them to talk to their coaches.
Ouais, ça va, elle ouvre encore. Allez.
Well, an 8-point lead for Dodo here in this bronze medal match. So Amaya Amparo Juanco will shoot first in the 4th end.
Nice. Allez, reste bien sur l'objectif. 10. 5. 4.
She's holding on here.
2. Allez,
She has had some exceptionally long holds today, longer than I would prefer myself, but she's managed to close them out okay.
Well, looks like Juanco's started to adjust to the leftiness of her arrow so far.
Allez, Sophie. 10.
That shot was a little faster, but right beside the other one, so good grouping.
Ouais, c'est pas vrai.
9.
Well, 26 out of a possible 30. Dodemont can score 28 here.
10. Allez, Sophie, hein, bien solide. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wow, 10, and that's the lead. A 10-point lead, but the conditions here today, throughout the day, have been changeable throughout. It was quite calm earlier on, but now it started to get a little bit blustery. We can see the windsock now halfway down the range, just blowing a little bit. Not heavy wind, but changeable.
It is changing. I noticed on Sophie Dodomont's group that last time, she had a very tight group, which tells me that she shot those arrows exactly the same and made very good shots, but her point of aim was slightly off, so that could have been a change in the wind. Most likely that would have been just a change in the wind from her previous aiming points.
And you can see the flags are blustering at the moment. The ones on the left-hand side seem to be going in one direction, the ones in the middle another, and the ones at the end in another, showing how changeable the conditions are down the range.
That makes it very difficult for these archers to guess and judge where that wind is going to push the arrow. They feel one thing back at the shooting line, they see another thing down at the target, sometimes they see flags going which direction. It can get very confusing sometimes.
And I think people don't realize that the arrow's going in a big arc up to 10.5 meters over the 50 meters to the target. As Juanco gets one right down the middle and into the 10, and of course the wind is changing, not just on the level at the level they're shooting at, but as the arrow arcs through the air, it's changeable as well. Dodemont shooting her first arrow of the final end of the gold medal match here. The bronze medal match.
3, 2.
And again, holding on.
She eats that clock up pretty good, but you know, this girl's practiced. They've practiced these scenarios. They all do. They know this is a possibility this can happen.
Well, if you can't hear the wind, you can certainly see it's now blowing at them, and you see the flags on the left-hand side of the range really moving around.
10. Allez, ça va.
Couple of 8s there from Dodemont. But I'm afraid this is over here for Juanco. She can only get 126. In fact, finishes on 125. So Dodemont just has to hit the target to take the bronze medal here in Salt Lake City. And there you have it. The winner is from France, Sophie Dodo. She'll be picking up her second medal here today on Compound Saturday at the third stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. She built a lead from the first end and continued to grow it throughout. Sophie Dodo will collect the bronze medal a little bit later on this evening.
J'ai l'impression que c'était un peu plus dur que ça bougeait beaucoup. En vrai. Ramdam ko yung hangin eh. C'est fini. Ramdam ko yung hangin eh.
Well, despite the wind not being strong, it was very calm to start with. Then Vic just started blowing a hoolie, not heavy, but different from arrow to arrow.
It is. It's changed frequently throughout these matches, so these archers have to adapt very, very quickly to the changing circumstances. Tomorrow we'll see the recurve bow shooting at 70 meters.
Yeah.
And the bows are slower and shooting further and will be affected even more by the wind than what these compound bows are that we see today.
We see some of the best shots there You see the sight there that Dodomont's using. And despite the long holds that Sophie Dodo employed in that bronze medal match, she was able to keep her concentration and take the medal. And there are quite a few of her fans in the crowd here. But the bronze is out of the way. Coming up very shortly, it's the gold medal match. And it's not long till the athletes come out. And here are the brackets, Vic.
Sara Lopez beat Cuanco to advance to the gold medal match, while Linda Ochoa-Anderson beat Dodomont from France to advance to the gold medal match.
Yeah, tight one for Ochoa-Anderson. Sara Lopez, though, very, very strong. And she'll be fighting for the gold medal here. And we got a chance to catch up with both of the athletes ahead of this final.
Every time I want to win, no matter what. Of course, I want to make the finals, but I want to win gold anyways, so I won't think about the World Cup final. I'm just going to think about me.
It will be amazing, but my mind is on shooting good scores. It doesn't matter if I win or if I don't. It's going to be a great practice for me because we have Central American Games, and Linda will be there, so it will be a great practice for us. And I just want to make my family proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the contenders to the field for the compound.
It's time to welcome those two athletes into the field of play here at the Eastern Foundation's Archery Center.
See.
Shooting for the gold medal, ranked number 8 in the world, representing Mexico, Linda Ochoa-Anderson. And here comes her opponent on target number 1. Shooting for the gold medal on target number 1, representing Colombia, ranked number 2 in the world, Sara Lopez. Our World Archery International judge for this match, Mr. Hossein Nassarinejad. We have 2 of the finest compound archers in the world today in the women's category.
Sara would be shooting first, Ochoa is shooting second. Range clear, begin match.
Hossein Nassarinejad there from Iran, our line judge for this gold medal match. Now, Sara Lopez won in Shanghai, so she's already booked her place for Samson and the finals later on this year. She'll shoot first, starting off with a 10.
Llega bien a tu anclaje y dale buena sensación a tu disparo.
Ranked 3rd after qualification. That's her first arrow.
Bien, bien, buena flecha, parece 9 o 10. Linda, dale buena terminación en frente.
3 arrows per athlete per end, 5 ends, and a cumulative score. And Sara Lopez, well, has a perfect score so far.
Y dele buena sensación a su disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí, trabájela. Trabájela bien fuerte.
Buffeting in the wind already there. Ochoa-Anderson.
5, 4, 3.
Time running out.
2, 1.
Just releasing and just about getting a 9.
Bien trabajada, ¿eh? Venga, con decisión, Linda, fuerte. Llega bien a tu anclaje y dele buena sensación.
Perfect score to start for Lopez.
Aguántelo ahí.
Ochoa-Anderson has
bien
to try and get a 10 here, but she's getting blown around in the wind and she's standing very much on one side of her target line, using all her time.
You could really see that wind pushing her around. The wind, I've noticed, increased significantly here in the booth in the last minute since this match began.
Yeah, and where she's standing, the Mexican, is, well, I know they have a range where they can stand, but she's standing right the way over near the center line.
And I can't tell exactly where the center is for the thing, but they both have plenty of room, and I'm sure she's within, well within her space. That may be what's more comfortable for her to stand towards that side of her space.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't want us to sound too boring here, but the wind is playing a factor absolutely here.
Well, that could be why she's standing further that side. Maybe the building blocks it a little more. I'm not really sure. I can't. It's hard for me to see here looking at the screen what's going on over there where she's standing.
No, and the conditions where we are halfway up a spectator stand are very different to how it is on the shooting line. We walked down there earlier on.
By 5 points.
It's Lopez who's got a maximum. And it's Ochoa Anderson who is trailing. She will shoot first here. Now the key thing is here that Lopez has already booked her place at Samsung. The winners of each stage, the individuals, qualify directly. If Lopez wins again, she frees up a space from the rankings for qualification for Samsung. If Ochoa Anderson can recover from a difficult first end and claim the gold, she will go to Samsung.
10, 9, 8, 7. Bien, linda. Buen día, esa linda.
Recover she has and starts with a 10.
Coordina y buena línea. En zona nomás. Eso es, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien.
Lopez just slightly misses the 10 ring on that, but she's been on track pretty good so far.
Buena sensación a tu disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí. Fuerte y dele buena terminación. 10, 9, 8, 7. Bien. Es 9, linda, es 9. Buena flecha.
A little low there on that one. Ochoa Anderson is married to Steve Anderson that we saw earlier in the men's USA gold medal final.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Trabájala bonito, linda. Anclate bien y dele buena sensación a tu disparo. Espérelo ahí, fuerte. Aguántelo. Tú sabes cómo. 10, 9.
You can hear the Mexican coach is very, very vocal, but a grouping there that's quite wide vertically.
Muy bien.
Lopez all the 9s, so levels on score with Linda Ochoa Anderson in that second leg, but still has that 5-point lead.
Yeah, you don't want to let much of a point gap go with somebody like Lopez here. She is an excellent shot. You look at this, she has barely missed the 10 ring on some of these. Ochoa Anderson, she had that 1-7 that got away from her in 8. Her group's a little more open, a little bit higher.
10,
and a little bit more spread out at this point.
You have to say, giving Lopez an early lead puts you in under a lot of pressure because she is the model of consistency, the Colombian.
Sara leading by 5 points. Ochoa, you shoot first.
Venga, linda, visualiza sus disparos. Y uno más, échele. Amarillito nada más. Ey, esto no se acaba hasta la 15ª, échele. Sí se puede, venga. Claro que se puede, linda. Con decisión, visualiza su disparo. Párate más a la izquierda. Eso.
Well, it will be the Mexican to shoot first again. A very vocal coach talking right the way through that mini pause.
Tú sabes cómo, con decisión. Espérelo ahí, dele buena terminación al frente. Pelela. Aguántelo ahí. 9. Bien, buena flecha, linda, esa es.
Well,
parece bien.
He keeps talking. Linda Ochoa Anderson's coach, Sara Lopez, shooting her first arrow of the third end. Oh, and that's gone high and into the 8.
Venga, linda, con decisión, fuerte. Tú sabes cómo, dele buena sensación a su disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí en el amarillo y dele buena terminación. Pelela, linda, fuerte. 8, 7, 6, 5,
5 seconds to go. We saw Sara Lopez talking about her coach. Ochoa Anderson's coach is her brother.
Hay que pelear todas las flechas, venga. Vamos a trabajar amarillitos y darle buenas terminaciones nada más.
Muy bien. Eso es.
Oh.
Eso es, China, eso es. Igual.
Trabájela bonito, linda. Fuerte. Pelela. Aguántela ahí en el amarillo. Pelela fuerte. Dile buena terminación. 10. Bien. 8 vamos.
Well, a 24 there, so chance for Lopez to increase her score, but she just looked a little flustered there between her second and third shots, Lopez.
She did. Something looked a little off there, but I didn't quite catch what it was.
Well, a high five with the coach. I wonder what was going on there. She just scored a 10, and then she looks like something had gone horribly wrong.
El viento ahorita va a ser nuestro favor y va a ser nuestro amigo, venga. Peléalas hasta el último segundo, pero no las sueltes donde no estés. Métete el amarillo y trabájelas, ¿va? Chele. Claro que se puede, ¿eh? Thank you.
Something happened.
Almost looks like maybe she got something in her eye, or I don't know if she wears contacts. I doubt that, but yeah, it looks like she got something in her eye there.
Oh, there we go. Looks like she's recovered from that.
Range clear.
Well, an 8-point lead for the Colombian here. Linda Achara Anderson with her coach and brother in the break between ends.
Sensación a su disparo, Linda, fuerte. Espérelo ahí, amarillito y dele buena terminación, aguántelo, pelela. Pelela ahí, Linda, fuerte. Bien, es 9, Linda.
Off to the left and down then. We'll go for a measure that one.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Venga, amarillito nada más y dele buena sensación a su disparo, Linda. Bien anclada. Pelela, tenemos mucho tiempo, fuerte. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Solo zona, Sara. Solo zona. Coordinadito, vamos. Eso es, muy bien, muy bien. Eso es todo.
Venga, Linda, con decisión, fuerte, échele.
As you mentioned earlier, you can see she is on the side there.
Aguántela ahí, dele buena terminación, amarillo, fuerte, Linda.
So perhaps they get less wind the closer they stand to the building.
Yep. May well be the case, in which case Lopez has a slight advantage.
Muy bien, muy bien.
And she's shooting pretty fast here, a 27. And she's now 11 points clear, the Colombian. The world number 8 struggling somewhat here, ranked 3rd after qualification. Lopez is the world number 2, and she came through qualification ranked 1st.
Target 1, 9, 9, 9.
And here we see the arrows from that 4th end.
These groups have definitely opened up a lot here at the end. Both archers groups have opened up, some a little more than others. Lopez is still center, but just 9s all around.
Target 2, 9, 9, 7.
Well, there was a measure there down at the other end of the range, and it was confirmed that Achara Anderson's first arrow was a 9, and the Colombian 10 points ahead now, having had that score marked up for Achara Anderson going into the final end. And you have to say things are looking very good for Lopez to pick up her second gold medal out of 3 World Cup stages here.
Trabájela bonito y dele buena terminación, fuerte. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
2 seconds left. Oh. Holding on for such a long time there, and it's resulted in a 5. Lopez with a 10. Well, she has dominated this gold medal match here in Salt Lake City.
Venga, Linda, disfrútelo. Tírele bonito, que se vaya a gusto y al centro. Bien.
People don't realize when you're shooting, it's such a fine line between shooting that arrow in the 10 ring and shooting that arrow in the 5 ring when wind gusts like these are pushing on you. Sometimes just a 1/10 of a second of when that shot goes off to make all the difference in the world.
Well, that's confirmed that Ochoa Anderson cannot win this. Lopez has got her second gold medal. Inside 10 seconds, and drifting off to the left there. It's not been a brilliant gold medal match, you have to be honest, for Linda Ochoa Anderson, but plenty of world ranking points for her here. And Sara Lopez finishes off with a 10-10-9, 29 out of a possible 30, and she is the gold medalist here in the compounds women's individual at Salt Lake City. Sara Lopez of Colombia hugs her opponent, and she will stand on top of the podium very shortly here in Utah. Oh, there she is. Oh, lifted high. Vic, you know, difficult conditions. We've been saying this all day, but Lopez handled them better there in that gold medal match.
She was shooting her shots a lot faster, smoother. Linda Ochoa Anderson was holding a little bit longer, and you could tell the wind was really pushing her around pretty badly. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes the difference is just when that arrow goes off. That sight pin can be in the middle 1 second, and it can be out off the target the next. Yeah,
been moving around all day, difficult conditions all round for everyone here in Salt Lake City, and an interesting tactic there from Ochoa Anderson to stand as close to the main building here at the Eastern Foundation's Archery Center to try and stop the buffeting wind from having as big a factor as it could have done. As we watch some of the highlights of Sara Lopez, she's quite brilliant. An archer who's perhaps won more titles than most on the circuit currently today, competing.
Vamos a trabajar amarillento, si haces buenas terminaciones nada más. Eso es, muy bien. Coordinadito, vamos. Eso es, muy bien, muy bien. Eso es.
Despite dropping a few points in that third end, Lopez took the gold medal from Linda Ochoa Anderson, and it was Sophie Dodo who claimed the bronze after beating the Philippine athlete Amaya Amparo Cojuanco. So the women's medals have been decided. Next up on the range here, it's the compound men's bronze individual match between the Russian Anton Bulyev and America's Braden Gelantine. Ahead of that, though, we will have the medal ceremonies for the women's event. And of course, remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and Instagram to get behind the scenes look at what's going on in world archery today. But here come the athletes for the medal ceremony in the compound women's individual tournament here at Salt Lake City.
By World Archery Executive Board member Mr. Greg Easton. The checks and gifts will be presented by the president of the Vegas shoot, Mr. Bruce Cull. Bronze medal winner representing France, Sophie Dodo. Silver medal winner representing Mexico, Linda Ochoa Anderson. Gold medal, representing Colombia, Sara Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Colombia. Gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes. Coming up shortly, our bronze medal final for the compound men here in Salt Lake City.
Well, there we go. Lopez with her second gold medal in 3 tournaments has opened up a qualification spot in the women's individual compound. But next up, it's the bronze medal match in the compound men's individual, as we see the world number 34 from Russia, Anton Budyev, take on the world number 3, Braden Gelantine. And Vic, here's how they got there.
Budyev beat Lin from Chinese Taipei, Pinu from France, Schaff from the United States of America, before losing to Verma of India to go into the bronze medal match. Braden Gelantine beat Luby from Germany, Lin from Chinese Taipei, Rio Wild from the United States, before losing to Hansen in the semifinals to land him in the bronze medal match.
And interestingly, we saw Lopez getting her second gold medal in the women's event, which means that she's opened up a qualification spot through the rankings for the women's individual in the compound discipline. Here we have 2 new finalists coming out for the gold medal match, so we'll definitely have a new qualifier here, but Gelantine has almost certainly booked his place by world rankings, and it's almost time for the athletes to come out for the bronze medal match.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the contenders.
Introduce them to the crowd here in Salt Lake City.
Compound final. Shooting for the bronze medal, representing United States of America, Boston Strong, Braden Gelantine.
9 на 10. Отлично. По центру работаем. Быстро, мощно.
Well, gets the 10. It means it's just 5 for Buliev, and the bronze medal here in Salt Lake will be his. And he gets a 9, a 27 out of 30 to finish for the Russian. And he started well, taking a 2-point lead after the first end, and then just built the lead from there on. And the consistency from the Russian, apart from that one drop 7 in the second end, was superior. And he's taken the bronze medal here in Salt Lake City. Braden Galantine will be happy. The crowd are giving him lots of support here, Vic. And like we say, his World Cup ranking points, they've almost certainly guaranteed his place in Samsung later on this year.
Thank you.
It's always great when you build up those points early, have a little bit of room to work with, and the potential to make the finals like that. So he's certainly in a strong position. Buliev, as you can see here, he looked very relaxed and comfortable during this whole match. Shooting many arrows into the 10, and the ones that he missed were generally close 9s.
Well, some brilliant highlights there. Buliev, a deserving winner here of the bronze medal. And the high five from his coach. So the bronze is sorted. Coming up next, it's the gold medal here in Salt Lake City for the men's individual compound. And let's take a look at how the athletes got to this stage.
Verma from India beat Karbayu from Kazakhstan, Taylor from Canada, Deloche from France, and Buliev from Russia. Stephen Hansen defeated Braden Galantine in the semifinal to put him into this gold medal match.
Well, Stefan Hansen is the world #1, but last time we saw him shoot an individual final outdoors was the 2017 World Championships in Mexico City, where he narrowly missed out on defending the title he won in 2015. Can he book his place in Samsung here today?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field for the compound men's gold medal final. Shooting on target #2, ranked #1 in the world, world champion of 2015. Please give a warm Salt Lake City welcome, Stefan Hansen. And here comes his opponent. Ranked #4 in the qualifying round. The man who defeated PJ Deloche. The man who defeated Anton Buliev. The man from India. Please welcome Abhishek Verma. Our World Archery International judge for this match is Mr. Hossein Nasarinejad. And we are about to get underway.
Please prepare.
Target one shooting first.
Verma shoot first. You shoot second. Range clear. Match begin.
Well, Hussein Nasarinejad there from Iran, announcing that the range is clear. And it will be Abhishek Verma of India to shoot first here. He's ranked #9 in the world.
Timing got a shot.
So Stefan Hansen here, the world #1 from Denmark, shooting his first arrow of the gold medal match here in compound men Men's individual discipline, shooting a 9 as well. And he has been asking about the wind here, clearly concerned about it. And he's standing as close to the building as he can. And the wind has picked up.
That 7's a big opportunity right there for Hansen.
Just pulling that one though.
Picked up a point, not much, but you could see that wind was bucking him around pretty good on that.
Just picked up a little bit. Abhishek Verma with his last arrow of the first end, a crucial gold medal match. The winner books their place automatically for the World Cup finals in Samsung, and Verma shoots a 10 with 5 seconds left on the clock. He had a little bit of swagger as he walked onto the shooting line here.
He was definitely happy about that. Hansen again fighting the wind on that.
Vic, it's picked up again. It's crazy.
I don't know from one arrow to the next if it's going to be windy or calm. Well, I know it's going to be windy. It's just a matter of how much wind these archers are going to be fighting during that shot.
Both shoot at 26 here. We are in between two ranges of mountains. We're on a plateau, but we're at 1,200, 1,300 meters as well.
Yeah, 4,200 feet of elevation. It's wide open country, so this wind really picks up a lot of steam coming across the countryside before it gets here. It's not a lot of structure blocking it.
Well, let's hear what the coaches have to say about it.
Match is time. You shoot first.
Yeah, they don't really say too much as soon as we go to them, but clearly Hansen, the world #1, will be keen to book his place through automatic qualification. Abhishek Verma, though, almost relaxed. He came through qualification as the #4 seed in this competition. Hansen, the #3. Scores level, so we'll stick with Verma shooting first in the second end of the gold medal match. 10. Followed by a 10. They're matching each other.
Both of those were very smooth, strong shots.
Just pulling that one down. Still fairly central. Yep, pressure to take advantage. Not showing. Another 10 from the world #1 Dane.
These archers, they practice all the time to try to shoot their form consistently the same from shot to shot. During this wind, it makes it very challenging for them to do that, but they're trying to shoot that same shot in this competition that they've been shooting in practice all along. As another archer watching it, sometimes I can tell by how smooth the shot is, the direction of everything, did it stay in a good line with the target. You get a good feeling for how that shot is and where that shot might land. However, the one thing that I don't know is where was their sight picture when that shot broke? You know, was there a sight pin on the middle, or was it out in the red? I don't know.
Well, you talk about trying to shoot the same shot over and over again. Hansen getting a perfect score there, and here we get a replay of those 3 10s.
So if you look at those 3 shots, the first and third shot looked fairly similar, where that middle shot, he was making a little bit of correction for his sight picture in the wind, I'm guessing.
4 points. You shoot first, you shoot second.
After even first end, Hansen pulls away in the second with a perfect 30. So Abhishek Verma will shoot again, but not because of the order, but because he is trailing. The Indian world #8 starts us off in the third end of the compound men's individual gold medal match.
Stærk skud. Arbejde med det. Masser af tid. 15. Masser af tid. Lege med vinden. 10. 9. Yep. 10.
4th 10 in a row.
Wind picking up here in the booth.
We can see Verma wobbling around. He's holding on to this one. 5 seconds left. And he's pulled that one off the target completely.
The wind really got the best of him on that one. That wind, I can feel it up here in the booth. It is just galing right now.
Not affecting Hansen as much. He gets a 9. But a miss there marked up for Verma. How can he recover here? Well, gets an 8. Has this one already crept away from the Indian?
When the wind's blowing like this, it can happen to one archer just as easily as it happened to the last archer.
That's a very, very good point, Vic.
However, if I was Hansen, I would be very happy about the lead at the moment, but I would still be trying to just make good shots and not get caught in these hard wind gusts.
8-8 miss.
We see him getting blown around here, and that was the shot that drifted off down and to the right. I mean, that's still less than 100 centimeters away from the center of the target.
But it's off. There's no score for that arrow.
But you talked about the margins of error and you know how little.
My guess is probably the difference between that arrow being off the target and that arrow being in the yellow would have been less than half a second just from that sight wobbling on and off and on and off, and it probably just went off on the wrong wobble.
In the quarterfinals, came up against Steve Anderson of the United States. Semifinals took out Ray Gallanty. Back in action now. Abhishek, you're about to thread.
एक लाइन में रोक के मारिए उसको.
6 arrows left for both archers, including that one from Verma, and a 16-point lead for Hansen.
15. Yep.
Hansen, 9 points.
Well, that's all Hansen needs to do. Match him arrow for arrow, and he's guaranteed the gold medal.
Good shot, 9 points.
That's right. Verma wants to, at this point, pick up enough to get within that 10-point margin in case there's a mistake by Hansen.
7 with an 8.
Okay.
Verma scoring 9.
Well, 27 out of 30, not a bad score.
15. Masser af tid.
And that's pinning off with 9s.
26 points on that end.
Jeg må ikke også bare sådan.
Det er det lille små også.
That is Mark on the line there. Check the win.
Målet er 1, skyd inden for tiden, 2, ramme skiven, og så ser vi, hvad der kommer. Skyd inden, så kommer der en flyvende takke.
Hansen leading by 15 points. Shoot first, you shoot second.
Well, a 15-point lead for Hansen, and I think you could see very clearly for yourselves the difference in the two camps. There was a bit of banter, a bit of joking, a bit of laughing in the Danish camp, and silence in the Indian camp. Verma to shoot first, trailing by 15, 3 arrows for each archer left in the gold medal match.
Stærk skud hele vejen. Masser af tid. 15. Yep, next.
A 10. If you're going to go out, if you're going to lose the match, you want to do it with a couple of 10s.
Yep.
And if you win, you like to do it with a couple of 10s as well.
Guard in style. Last arrow from Verma.
And a 9 to finish.
And 28 out of 30. The writing was on the wall before this fifth end. And the world #1, Stefan Hansen from Denmark, finishes with a perfect score of 30. He handled the pressure and the intensity of winning the gold medal and booking automatic qualification for Samsung, even under the toughest of conditions given the weather. Hansen has won the gold medal in Salt Lake City and booked his place in the World Cup finals.
Victory ceremony just ahead.
Vic, I mean, what incredible scenes there with a miss from Abhishek Verma. Your heart goes out to him.
Yeah, that's tough. That's really a tough one. You know, as a competitor, you don't want to see that from your opponent, and as the person shooting it, you don't want that to happen to you either. You know, you want everybody to shoot their best, and you just shoot a little bit better on that given match or that given day. But we saw Stefan Hansen finishing there with a 30. I mean, that's a champion right there. There's no wonder that he's booked his ticket to the World Cup finals.
And just on that point there, the pressure was really on Hansen, though, because he's the world #1. And to be honest, he needed to win this. I mean, yes, second and perhaps a good result in Berlin could have got him there, but he needed to guarantee his place in Samsung.
That's right, that's right. It got a lot easier for him after that miss, and that pressure kind of relieves and lets off a little bit and probably let him relax and get into his comfort zone a little bit more. But early on in the match, it's a lot of pressure for both of these archers.
Well, there were the 3 10s at the end, a perfect 30 out of 30 and a hug from his coach, and a brilliant slow motion replay of one of the arrows flying down the 50-meter range, hitting that center of that 80-centimeter wide target. And the crowd here have been given an absolute brilliant finale on compound Saturday. And you can follow us live, as you probably are, but you can follow us live in between our live sessions on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course Instagram, to get all the behind-the-scenes action here on the circuit. You can see the flag still blustering away, but that's the end of the archery action. We do have a medal ceremony to come for the men's individual, and the athletes will be coming out with the presentation team very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the compound men's event. Medals will be presented by World Archery Executive Board member, Mr. Greg Easton. Checks and gifts will be presented by USA Archery Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Rod Menzer. Bronze medal winner, representing the Russian Federation, Anton Hulyev. Silver medal winner, representing India, Abhishek Verma. Gold medal representing Denmark, Stefan Hansen. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Denmark. Please congratulate our athletes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there we go. Stefan Hansen handling the pressure and qualifying for Samson by winning the gold medal here in Salt Lake City. And there you see our three qualifiers, Mike Schlösser, Kim Jong-oh and Stefan Hansen. Those are the current World Cup rankings here for the compound men's individual. Sara Lopez took her second World Cup title here today, so she's opened up a ranking place. Here are the Hyundai Archery World Cup rankings for the compound women. Sara Lopez at the top of the ranking, qualified already, along with Yesim Boston, who did it on home soil in Antalya. And so now there are 4 places on the rankings open for the women.
We're going to give it away by section, row, and seat. Section A, starting over there.
So it's been a brilliant day of compound archery. Sara Lopez of Colombia picked up her second World Cup title. Hansen, the world #1, picked up his first. Compound Saturday is over, but Compound Sunday is coming. Vic, brilliant performances in both of those individual tournaments.
That's right. The excitement and the winds were high here today in Salt Lake City at the Easton Foundation's Archery Center. Tune in tomorrow as we move these targets back 20 meters further for the Olympic finals, Olympic recurve finals.
Thank you, Vic Wonderly, Olympic silver medalist from 2000. And thank you to you for joining us for Compound Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow here in Salt Lake City for Recurve Sunday.